So in America, um, Tulsi Gabbard suspended her election campaign. Um, I did a, I haven't dropped that video actually. It was I talked about it in one of my live streams. Um, it was upsetting that she endorsed Joe Biden. Oh, she didn't endorse him. She actually just supported him. Really? Go to a dictionary or a thesaurus and look up other words for endorse. You're splitting hairs, guys. She's endorsed a warmonger, and this is obviously goes against everything that she stood for. But I had a time to actually see, and I was obviously really disappointed. We both were, you know. My fiance is a big supporter of Tulsi Gabbard, and she felt like she's thrown a base overboard. And I think I touched on that a little bit in my video the other night. I watched the interview which she did with Jimmy Dore tonight. And she's for the first time, she started looking like a politician to me. And her answers started sounding like a politician's answers. And that left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Now, having said that, I do understand that she's in a bit of a tough situation there, and no matter what she does, she's not going to win. She's not going to win any fans from really anybody, no matter what she does. I said this last night on Twitter. It was last night, and I had a beer as well. So you're lucky that I made any fucking sense at all. But it says, yes, it hurts Tulsi Crats or Tulsi stands. People have been calling them Tulsi stands. It's like, come on. I'd say they were called hurt and confused. That's what they really are, the Tulsi supporters. I said, I know this sucks, but practice it. The race was over. It was. The race to be the Democratic nominee was over. It's finished. They won a rigged race. Yippee for them. They really had to show how rigged it all was to win there. It's a time of crisis. She has National Guard duty to think about. She did everything she said she would from the very start, and she never lied. That's actually a true statement. I think the only way you could probably say that maybe she lied in that she said that, you know, she said all along, what's the point in us beating Donald Trump if you just end up with another warmonger? And it's like, well, you've just endorsed a warmonger, you know? So, but with regards to her running within that construct of the two-headed beast that is the, you know, democracy in America, you know, she played by the rules, whereas, as I pointed out in that tweet, they didn't. They had to change rules. They had to rig it so she wasn't on the debate stage. They had to eliminate her airtime when she was on there. They had to ignore her. The only people who really gave her a fair chance in the media were Fox fucking News, which is just insane. They had to show how rigged the whole thing was. Whereas she actually was true to her, everything she said, especially with regards to the DNC. When you think, you know, Neera Tanden, etc., all these people were trying to make out that she was some sort of Russian agent and in favour to the Russians, and Hillary Clinton was saying that was like she endorsed but Joe Biden now. Is Biden now Putin's buddy? You know? There were also, you know, she said all along she wouldn't run for a third party, and they all, oh, well, will you run third party? They never believed it. It put all that to bed. So all the things that her detractors were flinging at her, all the attacks they had against her, none of them actually stuck. None of those attacks stuck. Like I say, you could say, you know, you you're part of the problem then if you're endorsing a warmonger. Why couldn't you? I mean, I think the best thing that she could have done is just not endorse anybody. Because endorsing Bernie would be useless anyway, because Bernie's going to endorse Biden in 5 minutes anyway. The race, like I say, the race is over. It's a time of crisis. There's a global pandemic. She's in the National Guard. She's gone back to Hawaii to get ready. She's a major. It's starting to look a little bit, when you think about it, it is to me anyway, it's becoming a little bit more glass half full than glass half empty. And I continue, this is a volatile time, Great Depression territory or worse. There's a global pandemic. Like I say, it's almost as if it's wartime governments that are in control right now. There's an attack on our country, if you like, or our countries on the world, on our species. Wartime governments are in control. There's no economy to speak of. Everything's shut down. And she's got to go and do her duty. You know, she'll be needed in the National Guard. She's a major. She now has a massive platform to build upon going forward. And a history of being honest, thoughtful, true to her word, and doing what is morally right. In my mind, it's starting to look a little bit more than glass half full here. You know, she's a 36-year-old woman of colour who has all the qualifications to be a great leader. She's military background, so she's going to appeal to a lot of conservatives. You know, they value that discipline. She obviously, the liberals will love her because she's young and she's a woman of colour and she'll be the first Hindu, etc. And like I say, she and you, if you're a Tulsi supporter like I am, may have lost this battle, but, you know, let's face it, it always was going to be a losing battle, this one was. It's only, you could only do as much as you could to make the whole process look as fucking rigged as it was. So the people demanded a change going forward. And when you look at it, that maybe was achieved. We'll see in the coming months whether people actually get behind it and make use of the opportunity that they've got right now to demand a different way. And I then said she'll be around for many more fights to come, and she's on the side of the people. And there's no doubt about that. Her record proves it. And I said, I'm still with Tulsi. That's the reasons I am still with Tulsi. I understand if you're really disappointed. I understand. It's a real kick in the fucking teeth. And this is why I can't stand politics. This is why I hate politics. This is why I've got the political acumen of a newt. They get in the politicians and politics gets in the way of progress. It doesn't enable it. We've got to stop getting in the way of progress, because if we carry on doing what we're doing, we're doomed. China have figured out a better way. Look at what they're doing. Look at their economy. Look at everything that they're building. They're building 6,000 miles of motorway a year. I live in the Midlands. They've been repairing a 100-metre stretch at Junction 9 of the M6 all of my fucking life. While China are building 6,000 miles of motorway a year. Honestly, there's a junction, I think between Junction 10, I'd say, and Junction 7 of the M6. It's been under repair ever since I can remember. And China are building 6,000 miles of motorway a year, and it's not on it's up in the mountains. We are going to have to figure out a better way forward. And I, for one, I'm glad that at least over the other side of the Atlantic, I know, or at least it seems like there's going to be somebody who's going to be around for quite some time. having a real big voice and a big platform going forward. If you ask me, yeah, lost the battle. The war's yet to be won. And there's reasons to be cheerful.